Hi, this is Gibo, and this is a Beta 390 RR 2019. So the problem today is the clutch actuator, which is showing weak load. So the problem could be the fluid here or the actuator here, which has a internal leakage. Could be. So let's go first to our brainstorming. So, in black, our brainstorming, our ideas. So, could be fluid shortage or actuator or ring failure. Check fluid level and quality. Could be air, could be water inside. Get rid of air, which means bleeding. These are corrections already. Disassemble the actuator and replace the O-ring. What we learned by reading, by studying through the books is we have to measure. It's almost standard, the O-ring, but could be different, and so we have to check the diameter of this element. So what is important is to check if there is a leakage versus outside. In that case, would be not the actuator or ring, but the external static one. And one thing very important is the usage of the fluid, which could be DOT 5, 4, but not mineral in this case. So if the system is designed for DOT, use DOT. Or for mineral if it is. So right now it seems to be enough fluid, but could be much worse than this. In this case it means that the problem is in the actuator. So what we have to do is measure the original one. Here we are, key of 8 pipe to unscrew the cover of the front sprocket. Now we can lift it. 2 more screws out, short ones, and then we can free it. This is the one we bought at the shop, and the diameter is around 25. So we measure 25 is the internal one. So actuator is the actuator, so, and we will open it by making a leverage on the edge, by distributing it, because you don't have to damage it. So here is, and there is a spring here for the preload, which is in the X. That is the actuator, and we have to remove the old O-ring. And here is the O-ring, which is a little bit damaged, so it's not a perfect circle. Okay, here we put the new one here, and let's put some grease in order to avoid the leakages and give it the best condition. Okay, now we can reassemble, centering the spring and just pushing. Then powder protection. Okay, now the cover is in its seat, and we have to screw the connection with the banjo here. This is the old screw which connects the banjo to the actuator. There are two washers. One goes on the top, the other in the bottom. Here we are. Let's screw now. Now connection done, and connect the system of the plastic pipes to bleed. Key of 8 millimeters, and just pump until it gets some load. Okay, while pumping, bubbles come out from the reservoir, and when some load is reached, we can start losing the bleeding screw on the bottom in the engine. So here is the point. This level of fluid means that there is some fluid here, but we didn't see bubbles while opening this and loading on the lever. So it means that there is no air inside the circuit, and we have just to load until we get the optimal one. And now it's just a question of loading, going on charging the pressure inside the system, and we will get the right load on the lever, and we are done. So that's all. Post scriptum, a little advice: when you charge and you want to check the bubbles inside the system, the motion has to be this one. Pushing first, releasing here, then some liquid will get out of the system. Close before releasing the clutch lever, otherwise you will aspire some air into the system. So opening and closing of the bleeding screw has to be done while the clutch lever is on. And so we are here for our personal analysis. What most important is the technique of bleeding. So it's a 4-step process: clutch on, then screw open, screw, it's the bleeding screw, then screw close, then clutch off. Then what we learned for the actuator disassembly, we have to make a leverage with a screwdriver on the edge with a circular system in order to balance the load and not damage the edge of the actuator. And then the bleeding process has to be repeated afterwards when you want to charge the system after the first checking bleeding. Okay, we are done. So from GIV, this is all. I like to do this very much, and I hope you too, and goodbye.